But the conference was in the Holiday Inn there.
That's right.
And you were there exhibiting. You had a little table that said Kuder. Or
It was. It was a table and a cloth.
It probably said in National Career Assessment.
And it said NCASI, National Career Assessment
Kuder.
Services, Inc.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, because I only know one thing to talk about that, and that is the use of technology and career guidance.
Yeah.
That was my topic for the keynote speech. And you were sort of interested in that topic.
I was very interested in that, and I was interested more in you, but that's right.
Now that comes out. So anyway, you came to the speech.
Yeah.
And after the speech, you invited me to have lunch with you.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
I do remember that. And I can pick up from there.
All right, okay, let's hear your version.
So my version is that I'm at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
There are maybe 200 or 300 career guidance professionals from throughout Maryland at this conference. It's one of the first conferences that I had attended. But I really did have two motivations there. One, I knew that you were the keynote speaker, and you were going to be talking on technology and the use of career guidance, or that was the topic. But you started to call out Kuder, and you mentioned Kuder during your presentation, that you understood that they had a new system and we had put something online, and actually went to our website. My memory is that you actually clicked on us 3 different times throughout the day. So the way I've told the story in the past, JoAnn, is when you said Kuder, I wanted to crawl under the table. And then when you said, it's one of the most respected assessments out there, I sat back up like this at the table.
Okay.
Following your presentation, I made my way to the front of the room to be able to just introduce myself, and asked if there was an opportunity that we could maybe have a cup of coffee or have lunch. So we did get tucked in the back corner of the Holiday Inn, and that I maybe had suggested maybe a half hour. Do you remember how long we went?
I'm going to guess about 3 hours.
3 hours. It was a 3-hour conversation.
And what I really remember is that, you know, I was supposed to get an award at the luncheon of the conference. I didn't even know it.
That's right.
And you took me away.
I did, and you never got the award. They were looking all over the hotel for you.
They mailed it later.
Yeah.
They mailed it.
What I recall, JoAnn, is that I had said, maybe made a statement along these lines that, you know, we might need some help, and I think that you very politely said, I think you do need some help, and agreed at the end of that day to come on with us as a consultant.
You talked to me a lot about the fact that the Kuder system was being used primarily in classroom settings. That was the only place students had the time to use it.
Yeah.
And therefore you needed some curriculum wrapped around it so that teachers could be using the Kuder system as a part of an instructional package.
Yeah.
And so I know by the end of that
3
very
hours.
very interesting lunch and conversation that I indicated that I'd be willing to work on a curriculum, that I had high school experience but not middle school experience, and that I would talk with Nancy Perry.
That was how Nancy got involved.
Who was then executive director of the American School Counselors Association. We had developed Develop Your Future, which we used to call it, before the end of that lunch was over. But you know what?
What's that?
As life goes, as you look back on it, it was just lots more important for me to have lunch with you that day than to get one more bronze plaque.
That's good. Well, and JoAnn, you know how I feel about this, and that's, I always think and tell my family there have been a few women in my life that have had such an impact. And
it was Mom.
It was my mom, and it was JoAnn Bowlsbey. Because,
Phil.
but you've had a greater impact on my life, personally and professionally, than anyone has. And really in where Kuder's at today. Because we wouldn't be where we were at today without you. Probably 90% of what I know today about career planning and development, because I'm not the professional, that's not my skill set, but I've learned it from you. So it's been an honor to have you a part of us ever since that day. That was an important day in my life.
It was an important day in my life.
Yes.